Good morning, little nerds. I am Dr. Shereene Idriss, a board-certified dermatologist, and welcome to Pillow Talk Derm. The goal of Saturday mornings with me is to help you get empowered with knowledge, education, tips, tricks, and hacks so that your skin is the last thing you worry about, but you feel most empowered about. And quite frankly, to cut through all the noise and the bullshit of the beauty industry, because Lord knows there's a lot of bullshit. So, without further ado, today we're going to talk about winter skincare hacks to get us through the dry weather that we are currently experiencing. And one thing that is often overlooked within the beauty industry and overlooked within the marketing messages of skincare brands is the climate. Not because we're trying to greenwash anything, but because climate affects our skin. And the drier the climate, the drier your skin. And that's going to dictate how you address your skincare routine. Are you going to push forward with more hydration, or are you going to pare it back? Because too much hydration can also lead to problems. But too little hydration will make you turn into a shriveled up little prune. Take it from me. So starting with number 1. Ready? The first hack we're going to talk about is quite obvious, but still many people miss it. It's getting yourself a humidifier, because a humidifier, my nerds, is what's going to help save your skin this winter season. Once the air in your office is nice and humid and restored, your skin can thrive. But if the air is dry, it's only going to suck out the moisture more from your skin. So trust me when I say invest in a humidifier, but also trust me when I say invest the time in cleaning your humidifier quite regularly, because the last thing you want is for mold or crud or crap to grow into that and then to get spewed into the air and then into your lungs. So if you can't find a video on YouTube about how to clean a humidifier, let me know and I will help you guys out. Hack number 2, lip basting. Now, lip basting is a term I made up 1,000%. When did I make it up? I made it up when I was pregnant around this time of year, and I was obsessing about basted turkeys and juicy turkeys. It was one of my weird, odd cravings. And I thought to myself, my lips are chapped as fuck. I was in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and no amount of Vaseline that I put on my lips was helping me restore the moisture to my lips. I quite frankly finished a whole tub of a mini Vaseline and my lips were still parched. So I took a step back and I thought to myself, why don't I exfoliate my lips followed by a thick occlusive to help hold on to the moisture? Now, before you say no shit, Einstein, lip scrubbers exist. I know lip scrubbers exist, but the key word is scrubbers. They're physically abrasive, and the lip exfoliation products on the market all have like either a sugar derivative or some kind of granular derivative that just is abrasive on the lips. And I have felt that those physical scrubs actually worsen the flaking and the chappedness of my lips over time. So instead, I opted for a chemical exfoliant. Now, we don't have oil glands on our lips, so salicylic acid is not going to be the chemical exfoliant of choice. Instead, I opted for something like glycolic acid. And at the time, I was using glycolic acid 10% by L'Oreal. I would put a tiny drop of this on my lip, on my fingers, just like such. Quite frankly, the smallest drop, and I would apply it to my lips and let it sit. Word to the wise, if you have a history of cold sores, I probably would not do this with 10% glycolic acid. It might cause your cold sore to reactivate, so you want to maybe go with something a little bit lighter. The other word to the wise is preferably do this at night. And if you are going to do it in the morning, and even if you do it at night, make sure you're using some kind of chapstick with a little bit of an SPF, because your lips are going to be more sensitive to the sun, and if you are skiing, you may get a burn on your lips. So once we exfoliate with the glycolic acid, we then lock it in with a nice thick occlusive. And I am obsessed with Loleda's Skin Food, because this is not only a rich, creamy emollient, it is loaded with different various oils like sunflower seed oil. It has a bunch of essential oils, which might not make it the perfect choice if you're somebody who's sensitive. But it also has lanolin, which is a waxy substance that allows to condition your lips. But I love that it's white. And I know this sounds dumb, but I love that it's white. So I see it on my lips. And by the time I'm done recording this video, it would have transformed and turned into a translucent glow that lasts several hours. And it frankly reminded me of butter, hence the lip basting, and I just liked it. It stuck. Other options you can use on your lips if you are sensitive to essential oils is bepanthen, which is a nappy rash cream, Or you can even use Lansino. Now, if you are somebody who has given birth in a hospital, you are very familiar with Lansino, which is your nipple cream for the nips. The nips and the lips are quite similar, and so you can knock yourself out with Lancino on your lips. It is $9 and it's 100% pure lanolin, and it can also work effectively as well. I will link below my lip basting video for your viewing pleasures. And given that I loved the concept of basting and things melting into your skin, your lips, or your face, I came up with hack number 3, face basting. This was at the time where slugging was all the rage and people were putting a shit ton of Vaseline or Aquaphor on their faces. And I didn't love the idea of putting that much Vaseline or Aquaphor on my face because it felt too occlusive. So I wanted something that was a little bit lighter that was also going to calm the skin in the process, because basting is about getting a 2-for-1 while seeing that evolve over time, meaning the transformative element. So after you've washed your face at night, after you've exfoliated or not, you ice your face like a cupcake. Clearly I'm thinking about food. And you want your face to look like a cupcake. Think of Robin Williams in Mrs. Doubtfire when he sticks his face into the cake and he steps out and he looks like he has a perfect face mask. That's what I want you to look like. And my face basting product of choice is the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast B5 because it has zinc that will act as an anti-inflammatory to calm your skin down. It also has panthenol, which is pro-vitamin B5, as well as shea butter and glycerin. So you guys can look like a nice cupcake when you put it all over your face. If you want, this is another little mini hack within the face basting hack. You guys can go to the drugstore and go to the baby section and get yourself butt paste. There's actually a brand called Butt Paste, but my favorite butt paste is actually by a brand called Triple Cream. Hopefully that's not too confusing. Triple Cream is sold usually in these like 1-pound jars. They also have them in tubes that look like this, but I like the one in the jar. It's probably retails for like $40, but it will last you forever. And it is loaded in zinc oxide, the type of zinc found in sunscreens and the type of zinc that has true anti-inflammatory properties. So at night, before you go to bed, right? Put that layer of cupcake cream or butt paste or triple cream or even the La Roche-Posay all over your face and allow for that zinc to melt into your skin to help restore your skin barrier so it's not as chapped or cracked, and it helps seals all those fissures in so that your skin can be much healthier and much more cohesive. I know it sounds weird, but thank me later and just trust. Trust, trust. Now, if you hate it, never do it again. But chances are you're not gonna hate it if you have a really bad inflamed skin barrier or really dry skin. Number 4, this is one that I absolutely love, my glycerin face mists. Now, Aven in a spray can or Evian in a spray can is great. It's mineral water. You're probably getting benefits from the mineral in that water, but at the end of the day, it's just water. And water in a dry environment is going to evaporate easily off of your face. Again, keyword being in a dry environment. So you want to have a face mister with some kind of humectant that's going to hold on to hydration. And this is how this was born. I mix equal parts of water with rose water because I'm Lebanese and I like the rose water, and rose water has anti-inflammatory benefits. If you don't like the rose water, just put water, 100 mLs of water. You don't have to do equal parts, and get 2 tablespoons or so of glycerin into this mixture. So usually it's a third of it is glycerin followed by water. And if you want to feel a little bit fancy, you get a little bit of I clearly just mixed it and I sprayed myself. You froth it together to make sure that it's homogeneous. You could quite frankly use a fork or a spoon. You really do not need to invest in this, but I have it and I like it, and it makes me feel like I'm making an experiment. And then I pour it into here and I mist throughout the day. If you're somebody who works in an office building that is extremely dry, you know the feeling I'm talking about, and you don't want to reapply makeup because that just looks all cruddy and weird, do this throughout the day and your face will thank you for it. As you do this, you will see your face start to glow. I absolutely love it, and I love this on an airplane because the air is so dry on an airplane. I love it for my neck because we oftentimes forget about our necks, and I sometimes even do it in the morning if it's really dry before I do my full skincare routine. And it smells like rose water, which is like aromatherapy to begin with, but you guys can see it just totally just kind of replenishes the thirst of your skin. Love, love, love. And last, how do I clean this? I put a little bit of hypochlorous acid in here and I just let it go until it's done. Tip, only make enough to last you one day. Don't let this sit for several days because it will get nasty and moldy and not something you want to put on your face. So only make enough to last you for a day. There are no preservatives in here. It's literally water and a little bit of glycerin, and you guys are going to town with that. So don't try to make it in bulk. You'll be wasting your efforts and your energy and your money. Which leads me to hack number 5, the under eyes. So the under eyes are always prone to dryness in the winter. The skin is much thinner and more delicate. Now, given that thick creams can act like creams for the face, you can use a thicker cream as an eye cream underneath your eyes. I personally am always looking to brighten my under eye area, so I will use the Hyper Serum as the cream of choice. And what I like to do for the under eyes is take a pea-sized amount just like that, okay? And then I apply it to my under eyes in a nice thick layer. And then I get saran wrap and I cut a small piece of saran wrap just like that. I already pre-cut it, and I apply it to my under eyes. And this allows it to really just suck in and sink in. And I do this while I'm getting ready in the morning. If I'm drying my hair, while I put my skincare on, after I put my eye cream and I dry my hair, I'm getting ready, I let this sit for a few minutes, or I even do it at night. Now, for all the people who are out there being like, saran wrap the environment, I understand. This is a hack for a reason. You guys can get reusable masks or whatever it is, but if you're on a pinch and you don't know what to do, this is a great option. You can also use Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream if you're looking just to moisturize. I love this one for the face in winter. I like putting it all over my face as well at night. It doesn't have that transformative element like I talked about with the La Roche-Posay, the Cicaplast B5. Saran wrap leads me to my feet, okay? For context, I stand on my feet like 9 hours a day, and I have thicker calluses on my heels, and my feet are really taking a beating every single day. So what I like to do is place this on the floor, and I cover my feet in Uridin Lotion by Isden. This is urea enriched lotion, which allows for your skin to break up and smoothen up. Urea is a great exfoliating agent for your skin, especially if you have dry skin, and it smells heavenly. It's a keratolytic. And I also use it on the back of my arms and my legs, or even the back of my butt if I have a little bit of tiny bumps. But I put this on my feet, and then I wrap my feet in saran wrap. And then if I really want a deep treatment, I will put the socks over that so I'm not swishing and sliding all over the floor, and I go to bed. But you can even do this with saran wrap alone without the socks for like 20 or 30 minutes if you're watching TV, and that makes the world of a difference for your feet. You guys can thank me later. It is amazing how much your feet can smoothen by doing this a couple of times a week by combining socks to saran wrap. And the reason I say the saran wrap is important here is because if you put the moisturizer on your feet and directly cover it with socks, the socks are going to absorb all of the moisture, leaving nothing left behind for your feet, and that never made sense to me. So that is my foot hack, which leads me to my last and final hack, my hand hack, because the same applies for your hands. When you're washing them constantly, if you're in and out of your apartment and the air is cold, your hands are going to take a beating, and we've all experienced the cracks on the fingers especially. So what I like to do is take a plastic glove, cover my hand in a really rich, thick cream like O'Keeffe's Working Hands. This is one of my favorite moisturizers. They actually even sell it at Home Depot. It's loaded in stearic acid and allantoin to create a nice protective barrier over your skin. And then I put my hands in a nice disposable glove. Quite frankly, they should create these for our feet so we can all just, you know, have life easier for all of us rather than using the saran wrap. But again, it wouldn't then be a hack. So I would use this on my hands, and sometimes I go to sleep with it depending on how dry it is, or I just do it for like 15 to 30 minutes after the shower to really allow for that moisture to get absorbed into my hands. And this is an amazing hack, especially for the healthcare workers or those who wash their hands or who work in restaurants or at bars and their hands are constantly exposed to fluids. This will save your little fingers and digits and hands. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my top winter skincare hacks that I've amassed throughout the years. There are more where this came from. If you want to learn more, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, I hope you guys have a beautiful Saturday. And I hope this video helps you to truly help yourself. I will see you guys next week. Have a beautiful weekend.